Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Caitlin and today we are talking Glaminatrix Cosmetics. This is an Australian indie brand that if you are not aware of, you really should be because they make some fabulous products. And I'm going to talk about some of my favorites today that are on sale. They're doing site-wide 30% off right now, and they're doing it as a Mother's Day sale. So I haven't heard an exact end date, but I'm guessing it's going to be around Mother's Day, but it has already started. If that sounds good to you, keep on watching. Before we get too far into the video, if you have not already, I would love it if you would consider subscribing. I upload videos twice a week. It is totally free to subscribe, and I would love to have you back again on the channel for more makeup conversation and content. Okay, so let's get into some of my favorites from the brand. So I'm going to talk primarily eyeshadows today. Now the brand does now have lip products and cheek products that they've come out with as well. I don't personally own any of those, so I can't speak to those. I'm not gonna lie, I'm interested in shopping the sale myself to try some of those, as well as they do have one palette for sale right now that I don't have, and it's a pastel palette. So if anybody has tried it, has any thoughts, I have other pastel palettes, but I love the Glaminatrix formula in particular so much that I really am curious how pastels in their formula would be. Mattes, I know the shimmers are so sparkly and gorgeous, so I know I'll be happy with those, but that's what I'm personally considering shopping. And then here are some things that I want to recommend to you. So the first thing is the Glaminatrix. Obviously, this whole video is Glaminatrix, that was redundant. The Into the Night palette. Now this is the one that I'm wearing on my eyes today. I'm also going to leave linked my Barbie inspired look that I did last summer because I used this palette to get that look. Now the palette itself you cannot get like in this component. However, all of the shades, mattes and shimmers, are all available as singles for 30% off. If you're like me in the US, I will give you a disclaimer, shipping is a lot. So now when it's a sale, kind of makes up for the shipping, for me at least. Or if you know other people that also want products, I recommend putting your order together and maybe splitting the shipping. But here is this color story. Today I used Play Hard, the shade in the crease, Chaser in the outer corner, Happy Hour as the shimmer on the lid, as well as Nightlife as some shadow liner. My Barbie look, of course, focuses on these like very bright neon pinks, but this is amazing. The mattes are pigmented, but they still blend. They're not patchy. And the shimmers, I don't find that I need a glitter primer for them to really sparkle and do their thing. So love that one. You can get it in singles. And then I was perusing their singles because they literally only have the one pastel palette as a palette and a palette component available in stock. But they have some shades from the Nocturnal palette. They might have some mattes, but I wasn't seeing all of the mattes. But what I was seeing were the shimmers. I'm leaving my plastic on because I have a couple different crumbly, busted shades here that I'm preventing from falling out of their pans. But they did have all of the shimmers available. I'll leave my video linked with this one as well. I did not have a great time with this palette. However, I do believe they have reformulated the shimmer since they came out with the original palette, so that issue should be fixed. And I want to say I have had wonderful customer service with Glaminatrix. I've only ever had to reach out one time from all of the orders I've made from them. I have so many palettes. And due to a shade coming broken, they immediately sent replacements and really made sure they were packed well so that the replacements came intact. They also in their singles have some from their You Beauty palettes. I did not see the multi-chromes from this palette available anymore in here, but the mattes. And you might be like, okay, mattes, whatever. But in particular, this one called Bloody Oath. This is so unique in my palette. It is this murky kind of like blue-green mixture. It's like so swampy, but then it also kind of looks grayish sometimes depending on how it leans. It's super unique and I love that shade so much. This was my first ever Glaminatrix palette. It got me hooked on the brand, but they do have some of the mattes from that palette for sale in single form as well. And I shop the singles myself, you guys. It's pretty easy to just get like a Z palette, a magnetic palette. This one's actually from Glaminatrix, so even if you don't want shades, if you're just looking for palettes, they have these really pretty marbled and different Z palettes available, and I like this one because it opens on both sides, and there is a mirror on the top, but there's room for shades in the bottom as well as the top. So it's got 3 sections, and then there's the mirror, so you can stack things, which is really nice. And mine isn't totally full, so I've got room to grow. So I just want to show you some of my favorites. A lot of these are from their pastel like Eastery collection, and they're a bit lighter, but they're still really, really pretty. I actually love a shimmery yellow. This one's in shade Chic right there. And they're really, really nice as a pop against dark mattes, and that's how I like to wear them. But you could definitely do something that's light overall. Another one of my personal favorites right here, this kind of like purpley, bluey, pinky, shifty shade right here. Oh, look at that. It's like so... I have to get the angle right because it's so shifty and bright that it just looks kind of like white in the wrong angles. That one I believe is called, yes, Wisteria. Love that one. So those are more of the like lighter shades I would say that I have. And then on the second row here, I have this series that was called, I don't know, they used to have them in a bundle, but it's like Cherry Blossom, and Baubles is from one of their palettes. Cornflower. Let me just swatch Baubles so you can see that one, because that one is really, really cute. It's like a goldy yellow teal multi-chrome. And they have lots of different textures. Some of them are smoother, like the first couple I showed you. The one that I just showed you has a little bit more texture to it. Hopefully you can see the top row, how those have a bit more texture versus these are a bit more smooth. So they have lots of options. And then all of these that just look like white probably to you on the bottom, they're all iridescent. So like for example, here is the one called IS4. They're just like iridescent shimmer 1, 2, 3, 4. Holy smokes though, it's so iridescent, like understatement. This is so pretty as a highlighter, as an inner corner. Of course you can do it all over the lid. Now I'm just bathing in shimmer, which I don't mind. But they have so many amazing singles. If you're not a single shadow person, they do have the one palette available, but I love single shadows for if I'm just feeling meh about a palette, not inspired, or it's just like an okay quality, but it's not great. I feel like this paired with some of those can help bring them to life a lot more. I have so many palettes, of course, from Glaminatrix, but they aren't offering any of the palettes or singles, so I didn't want to mention those as part of my sale video, but let me know if you would be interested in a video where I rank all of my Glaminatrix palettes, because I have quite a few at this point, and I think that would be really fun to do. Thanks so much if you made it all the way to the end of the video. I hope this was helpful for you to either shop your stash if you have these already, or do some window shopping, what have you. And yeah, I've got that palette in my cart, that pastel one, but I just have not pulled the trigger yet. I'm trying to be good, but it's Glaminatrix. I love them so much. So thank you again. That is all for today, guys, and I hope to see you again on the next one. Bye.